4 years ago, if you said Jennie would dominate post-YG life while Lisa flopped, I would have laughed. Yet here we are. Lisa is doing the absolute most, but somehow delivering the absolute least. Her independence was supposed to solidify her as a global powerhouse. Instead, it exposed the structural cracks in her standalone artistry. The internet is actively noticing this decline. We are watching the biggest star in K-pop vanish in plain sight. For years, stans claimed YG Entertainment was holding her back. She finally got her freedom, launched a label, and bagged a billionaire boyfriend. So why does her career suddenly feel completely hollow? Allegedly, her new empire is built on high society nepotism rather than musical craft. The receipts from her recent festival sets show a jarring reality. She went from an untouchable main dancer to a generic pop star who barely sings live. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about how Lisa's Western takeover became a multi-million-dollar illusion. During the Blackpink era, Lisa carried the group's entire live performance reputation. Blackpink never actually possessed complex choreography. The performance bar was underground. But Lisa gave maximum energy while her members looked entirely checked out. Stan spent years on X demanding her immediate release from the YG basement. The consensus was clear. The label was actively wasting a generational talent. Fans built a massive expectation around her solo potential. Then she got total independence, and she immediately dropped her only actual superpower. The post-YG reality is deeply embarrassing. The Blackpink brand and the YG machine carried her entire identity. K-pop labels excel at creating bulletproof corporate idols. YG perfectly hidden her artistic limitations within a highly controlled environment. Group dynamics are great for sweeping individual flaws under the rug. Can't sing? The main vocals carry the chorus. Bad at English interviews? The other girls do the talking. Lisa operated inside a flawless simulation. Outside that simulation, the illusion died. Look at the actual receipts from her peak. Her 2021 solo debut, La Lisa, was a massive commercial juggernaut. The music video shattered 24-hour YouTube charts. Money went viral and cleared 1 billion Spotify streams. Both tracks parked comfortably in the Billboard Global Top 10. Ironically, her career peak happened under the exact label fans called a prison. The numbers she pulls today are completely microscopic in comparison. Fast forward to late 2023. The members famously ditched their individual contracts. Lisa immediately launched her own management startup, LLOUD. She signed a massive distribution deal with RCA Records to target America. Her post-YG strategy shifted completely to the Western mainstream market. Her songs are now entirely in English. Her collaborators are strictly American hitmakers. She secured massive festival slots and endless media placements. Everything was perfectly aligned for her debut album, Alter Ego. The rollout for Alter Ego was exceptionally loud. The marketing team pushed months of singles and endless concept photos. They even dropped a companion comic book to force hype. She had elite producers like Max Martin and Ryan Tedder. The feature list packed Rosalia, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, and Future. She had the Oscars, a White Lotus premiere, and Coachella ready. Fans were completely seated. Then the album dropped, and the launch was an absolute ghost town. The comparative data is a nightmare for her new team. Under YG, her single album moved 700,000 copies in week 1. Under LLOUD, Alter Ego struggled to clear 30,000 copies on day 1. The streaming numbers are incredibly modest relative to the surrounding noise. Her first independent single, Rockstar, had immense initial curiosity, but it lacked the staying power to become a mega hit. The internet quickly decided the Victoria's Secret Runway version was better than the actual song. When people prefer a background fashion track over your official single, you flopped. Her follow-up track, New Woman, completely tanked on the global charts. Even a high-profile Rosalia feature couldn't save it from total irrelevance. None of her independent singles captured the cultural zeitgeist. Instead, the internet spent weeks mercilessly clowning her sci-fi personas. Her villain character, Vixie, got intensely roasted across social media for being corny. One single tweet mocking the concept gained over 30,000 quote retweets. Hardcore fans openly admitted the creative direction felt forced and childish. Worse, her desperate attempts to force viral TikTok trends became painful. The promotional videos are the definition of secondhand embarrassment. It is genuinely cringy watching a former A-lister beg for algorithmic traction, but the real tragedy is her complete loss of identity. In her frantic pursuit of Western appeal, she became a generic pop star. She sanded down every edge that made her unique. She is trying to fit into a market overflowing with superior options. When you look at her complete creative freedom, a glaring issue arises. She barely dances anymore. The exact skill she was universally praised for has completely vanished. Lisa was never a powerhouse vocalist or a top-tier lyricist. Her entire selling point was explosive choreography and elite stage presence. That was the whole argument for why she needed to go solo. Now, her live sets are reduced to walking across a stage looking expensive. She completely substitutes raw talent with high-fashion wardrobe pieces. Take her Coachella performance with Anita as an example. They performed their collaboration, Bad Angel, on a massive global stage. She walked out in a stunning metallic bodysuit and looked immaculate. Fans immediately praised the visuals, the outfits, and the expensive production, but nobody mentioned her actual musical or physical performance. There simply was nothing to comment on. She just muttered into the microphone and walked in circles. The aesthetics are doing 100% of the heavy lifting now. This lazy approach has officially become her default setting. Every major independent appearance is about her outfit rather than her output. She shows up looking incredible, but the performance is completely mediocre. It is deeply disappointing for someone who promised true artistic potential. If she replaced the dancing with elite vocals, the pivot would make sense. But she is not a singer, and her rap delivery sounds average. She literally has no artistic foundation to fall back on. Unsurprisingly, heavy lip-syncing accusations have completely derailed her brand. The Backlash followed her from the VMAs straight to the Global Citizen Festival. It popped up again at the Oscars and her recent Coachella set. These criticisms are not just coming from random internet haters. Western mainstream audiences take live vocals incredibly seriously. You cannot survive on pretty visuals alone if you refuse to sing live. Her current musical offering is an absolute blank space. Western pop is already completely saturated with visually stunning girls. The difference is their teams actually understand cohesive sonic branding. Lisa chose to set aside her only defining trait to chase trends. You cannot argue that she needed to drop dancing for American appeal. Mainstream audiences actively worship pop girls who can actually move. Look at Tate McRae's sudden rise to mainstream fame. Her music isn't revolutionary, but her elite dancing made her a standout. Lisa abandoned her superpower in a desperate bid for cheap virality. Her highly public relationship with Frédéric Arnault is impossible to ignore. She is officially the K-pop idol with the most public paparazzi photos. For context, Frédéric is the heir to the LVMH luxury empire. He also happens to be the current CEO of Loro Piana. Immediately after they started appearing together, her career took a fascinating turn. She instantly became a Louis Vuitton house ambassador. The high society connections allegedly opened major doors that talent couldn't. She quickly secured a prominent role in White Lotus Season 3. WME signed her for acting, sparking intense nepotism conversations on Reddit. Lisa never showed a single second of interest in acting during her group days. Nobody can definitively prove the relationship directly caused these specific bookings. Lisa obviously has her own commercial viability and a massive global fandom. Any luxury brand wants her numbers, but the timing is highly suspect. The romance has completely shifted how the public reads her success. Her achievements no longer feel earned through dedication to her craft. Allegedly, they look like luxury perks acquired through high society proximity. This association is arguably doing way more damage than good to her legacy. The internet now discredits her wins because of her billionaire partner. Her sudden pivot into Hollywood acting feels entirely hollow and unmotivated. Her debut in White Lotus Season 3 was a complete nothing burger. She played Mook, a resort maid, for roughly 10 minutes. Her character possessed absolutely zero meaningful arc or emotional depth. The director openly admitted he worried her immense fame would overshadow the show. Ironically, they gave her so little to do that nobody cared. The production clearly used her face to generate massive press in Thailand. They wanted a virality machine, and she happily played along. Yet HBO predictably submitted her for Emmy consideration anyway. It was a transparent marketing stunt that everyone saw right through. Nobody seriously believed she was winning an Emmy for 10 minutes of standing around. Her upcoming Netflix project, Taiga, looks like another basic stunt casting move. Despite having the most opportunities, she has the least musical success. Her former group members are completely leaving her behind in the dust. Rosé released her solo project and completely dominated the global charts. Jennie achieved massive critical acclaim with her high-profile Western collaborations. Even Jisoo secured legitimate acting projects with actual leading roles in Korea. Meanwhile, Lisa was supposed to be the frontrunner of the group. She entered the solo era with the largest global fan base. Seeing her commercially underperform relative to her former status is genuinely shocking. Her recent World Cup track with Rema and Anita solidified the downfall. She performed at the opening ceremony in front of millions of people. Sports fans already notoriously despise K-pop inserts on their tournament playlists. Lisa decided to give those critics unlimited ammunition. Instead of an anthem about unity or passion, she sang about her waistline. She unironically plugged Labubu toys in an official World Cup song. Brain rot lyrics on a global sports soundtrack is a wild choice. She was literally singing about being skinny to a stadium of football ultras. The lyrics were heavily criticized online for being completely narcissistic. The track completely failed to even debut on the global Spotify charts. Her other hyped collaboration, Born Again, suffered the exact same fate. At one point, her music videos were struggling to hit 5 million views. The public is experiencing severe audience fatigue, and the hype is officially dead. Overexposure is actively killing her brand equity. Her team believes being everywhere keeps her relevant. In reality, it just makes her look incredibly cheap. She is a dancer who refuses to dance and a singer who cannot sing. She is currently trapped in a strange middle ground of average versatility. She cannot compete with Western pop stars who spend a decade refining their sound. A silver star aesthetic is not a brand. It is just a prop. Lisa is almost 30 years old and owns her own company. She can no longer use the excuse that an evil label forced her decisions. Her executive team is likely entirely full of yes men who are terrified to advise her. If she keeps prioritizing cheap virality over actual musical artistry, this is her ceiling. The illusion is officially over. Who do you think is having the most successful post-YG career? Drop your thoughts below. See you in the next video.